I'm Serenity and this is my channel and welcome to my kitchen. Today we have sort of another one in the vintage heart cake series, but today we're going to be focusing on my buttercream recipe. I'm going to give you an in-depth total tutorial on how I make my buttercream, all the tips, all the tricks, how to dye it, the exact ingredients, where to get them, everything you need to know. Because I get this question a lot, especially on my shorts, especially since I don't use icing sugar. So a lot of people are kind of perplexed by that. I'm teaching you my Russian buttercream recipe. This has been my tried and true for 7-8 years now, and it's never failed me. I don't like traditional American buttercream. It's too sweet for me, and it's too thick and powdery. I don't like it. We're also going to be decorating this cake together. This is the Taurus cake. I'm not going to go into exact full details of the cake as a full tutorial. I have 2 other videos on my channel for that, but I'm basically going to be talking about the buttercream recipe and how it works with piping. It is really your one be-all sort of recipe. I use it for fillings and piping and crumb coatings and everything. So let's get into it. For our ingredients, you're going to need unsalted butter. You cannot use salted, you have to use unsalted. So I just get mine in a pack of 4 from either Sam's or Costco. And for your butter, it needs to be room temperature or soft. Softened and room temperature are 2 different things. Usually I just like to say, you just need to be able, when you push it, it indents, but it's not taking a lot of pressure. That's not taking me a lot of pressure. So that is what you're looking for at the very least. That's when you know it's ready to cream. It can go a little softer than this, but you don't want it to be the point where it's 5 minutes away from being melted. So for me, I left my butter out overnight. I do that a lot. It is now 6 in the evening. I pulled this butter out at 2 a.m. because I have insomnia. But this area of my house is kind of cold, so it slowly got to room temperature. That's what you want. If you are in a rush, you can plop it into the microwave, all sticks, unwrap in some sort of full glass container, and for 15 seconds at a time, just till it's softened. You don't want it melted. I keep my butter in the freezer because it just saves space, and then I will pull it out and let it thaw overnight to get to room temp. Next ingredient, which makes it a Russian buttercream, sweetened condensed milk. This stuff is the Mexican version. It's just cheaper. They sell it at Costco and Sam's, $12 for 6. That's $2 each. When you go somewhere else, like say Target, this is going to run you $2 to $3 a can. So it's easier to buy in bulk. So for every 4 sticks of butter, you're going to need 1 can of sweetened condensed. That is your basic recipe. That's how easy it is. 4 sticks of butter, so 2 cups. 1 stick is half a cup. You're going to use 4 sticks. That's 2 cups. 1 can of sweetened condensed milk. This is 14 ounces or 396 grams. That's your basic recipe. If you have these 2 ingredients, you're golden. Next, you're going to need salt. This is iodized salt, table salt works, whatever. Just a pinch, I would say a 1/4 to half a teaspoon is what you're going to use. Yes, we're using unsalted butter. You just need a little bit of salt to kind of cut that sweetness. Finally, vanilla extract. So I don't have extract right now. I have vanilla bean paste. The only thing is when I use this, you're going to see the little vanilla bean flecks in there. I use about a teaspoon for every 4 sticks of butter for my basic recipe. About a teaspoon of this. But if you don't have vanilla extract, I've been there. You have something in your fridge. Okay, you probably have maple syrup. Just use maple syrup, a teaspoon again. This bottle is all gross. And this is cinnamon and vanilla infused, so it's basically vanilla maple syrup. And if you don't have that, I have been in a pinch and used sugar-free syrup. This is what I use in my matchas. It works the same. Just with this, I would say use about half a teaspoon, then a full teaspoon, because the flavor on this is pretty strong and you can get that artificial sugar flavor. So that is our basic recipe, okay? 4 sticks of butter, unsalted, 1 can of sweetened condensed milk, half a teaspoon of salt, and a teaspoon of vanilla, or any sort of something similar to vanilla. Today we are going to be making a triple batch, but also 1 batch of my buttercream isn't enough to decorate a 6-inch heart cake 3 layers. It is enough to decorate 1 2-layer 6-inch heart cake, and it is enough to frost 24 cupcakes. I am just very generous with my icing, and especially when we are working with multiple colors like we are today, I just want what is best. You're also thinking, Serenity, you make a lot of chocolate buttercream. I do. You're going to take our initial vanilla buttercream recipe. You're going to add more vanilla extract. I would say about 2 to 3 teaspoons. And about half a cup to a cup of this. And you just gotta try it. Sift this in. That's it. You have chocolate buttercream. We also are going to be dyeing our buttercream today. And the brands I like to use are Color Mill. I don't have any on me. The Hobby Lobby brand, you can usually get these for $1 every other week. These are half off. And a new brand that I love is Enco. This is linked to my Amazon storefront. This is a Mexican brand food coloring. I have 12 colors from them. And it comes with a guide to mix colors, which is so useful. This stuff, so pigmented. I'm talking a 1/4 of a teaspoon and you get such vibrant colors. So this is my new favorite. I use Color Mill too, but Color Mill I find takes a lot of the color to get a good deep color. And then Hobby Lobby, this is the Sunnyside's Bakery. This works really well. It's pretty vibrant, but it's not as vibrant as this brand, okay? So save your coins and get this brand. And I use gel food coloring. I don't like water food coloring, especially because I use a lot of chocolate, like white chocolate for my letters and decorations on my cakes, and chocolate and water mixed together, it seizes. So I can't use water-based food coloring or else the chocolate's going to seize. So just automatically having gel-based food coloring, which is oil, it's easier. And when you mix oil and chocolate, it thins it out. Now, if you do want to flavor your buttercream, you can use our initial recipe and then just add the flavor oil. So if you want peppermint flavored buttercream, just use peppermint oil. You can get that at Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Walmart. They come in these, let me get closer, these like really tiny containers. These are so strong, you want to be very, very liberal. Like I'm talking a drop and then trying it because these are so concentrated. I'm holding it over here and I can smell the peppermint. And you can easily make flavored buttercream like that. To start, we're going to put all our butter in a KitchenAid bowl. This bowl specifically can make 4 batches of buttercream in one go using a paddle attachment. I don't like to use a whisk, the paddle is where it's at. Then you're going to mix your butter for 10 minutes at least. I usually go 10 to 15 minutes, scraping occasionally the sides of the bowl so it all gets whipped evenly. Once it is done, it's going to become this light white color and nice and fluffy. You do need a stand mixer or a hand electric mixer to do this. You cannot just do this by hand. Then we're going to add our condensed milk 1 can at a time and then mixing it up. Don't add your condensed milk all at once. Just do 1 can at a time, scraping the bottom to make sure none of it goes to the bottom of the bowl and it's well incorporated. Lastly, we're going to add our vanilla and salt, give it one final mix, and you can see this is the texture you're looking for, nice and silky smooth and fluffy. So to dye it, I'm separating my buttercream into 3 different batches. This first batch we're dyeing a dusty mauve kind of pink color, so it is 2 parts pink and then a half part brown to get this pink color. Then I separate it again and making a light mint color, which is just very little. And to this green food coloring, after I've taken out what I need, I'm going to dye this in emerald green, which is 2 parts green and then a quarter part pink to get this deep green color. I gotta say, I really do enjoy color mixing. So next we're going to put the couplers in our piping bags and then fill our piping bags. So there is our dark green color. It's not as dark as I wanted it, but it's gonna develop into a deeper color as it oxidizes with the air over time. So once that bag is filled, I'm moving on to white. I reserved most of my icing white because I like to crumb coat in white so I don't have to use a lot of food coloring it. Then we have our other 2 colors, mint and this dusty rose, putting those in their own piping bags and setting aside. Then I'm trying this new technique. I really don't remember what it's called, but basically I'm putting all 3 colors onto a piece of saran wrap, rolling this up and then putting it into its separate piping bag with a 8B tip to get all the colors in like one piping stroke. I don't know if that's the right terminology. Now to decorate, we're going to start with crumb coating. And what I really like about this frosting is it's really easy to spread, unlike American buttercream. So I can really get into those nook and crannies and not have to use a lot. And it's pretty opaque with the colors, so I don't have to use an insane amount or a lot of effort with my hands to get it to work, especially with piping, because on these vintage cakes, which I'm known for, the piping needs to be very fluid, not a lot of pressure in your hands or else it's going to start to hurt. And I have used American buttercream once on one of these cakes and it was a pain in the arse. Another mention is that this buttercream is really stable, so in my hand, the piping bag, it is not melting in the piping bag because we stabilized it so much. So here is our completed cake. I love her so much. If you want an in-depth tutorial, there's 2 videos on my channel for that, and this is a monthly series. And now you're wondering, what do I do with leftover buttercream? Well, you can store it in the fridge. So I'm taking a Ziploc bag and putting all my different buttercream colors in their own Ziploc bags and sealing them nice and tight, putting them in the fridge for up to 2 months at a time. Yes, because butter's expensive and we don't waste around here. One more thing I should mention is that, like any cake, do not leave this in the sun. It will melt faster than American buttercream. And this is our completed cake. Isn't she gorgeous? I don't know if I like her. I don't know if it's giving too much Bridgerton. I barely started watching it last night, and now I think I might need to do a cake series inspired by every Bridgerton character or the couple's wedding cakes that we see in the show. The colors are definitely giving that to me. Alright, so if you have any questions, anything I didn't necessarily cover, let me know down below so we can talk about it. Maybe I'll make another follow-up video. If you have any cake ideas, suggestions, leave them down below. Again, this is a monthly series, and I think in a couple weeks I have my next next cake coming out where I'm teaching how I use edible images on them. All my socials are linked down below if you want to follow me. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to, and turn that bell notification on. And as always, the doggo picture of the day as a palette cleanser is this picture of Capella. This cake is actually her birthday cake, quote unquote. She just turned 3 and she is a Taurus. All right, that's all I got. Love you, minute kisses, don't think stupid, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt